Welcome, beautiful damsels. You never truly know someone until they show you the side they don't advertise. Sigma females are the ultimate embodiment of this truth. Quietly powerful, fiercely independent, and utterly enigmatic, they operate in ways that most people can't begin to comprehend until it's too late. It's not because they're trying to hide, it's because most people only see what they want to see. Here's a fact. Studies show that introverted yet strategic personalities often leave the most lasting impressions on people. Why? Because they're like a great plot twist in a movie. You don't see it coming, but once it hits, you're left questioning everything. And Sigma females? They're the ultimate plot twist. Just when you think you've figured them out, they shatter every assumption, leaving you with two options: admire them or regret underestimating them. If you've ever crossed paths with a Sigma female, you'll know they're not like anyone you've met before. And if you haven't figured that out yet, buckle up, because this list is about to explain exactly why most people realize their mistake far too late. Don't blink. You might miss something extraordinary. Number 1, they can be cold, but never unfair. People often mistake a Sigma female's detachment for cruelty, but the truth is far more complex. She's not cold-hearted, she's calculated. When she decides to cut someone off, it's not out of pettiness or revenge, it's because she values fairness above all else. She doesn't make emotional decisions in the heat of the moment. Instead, she evaluates the situation with a level of clarity most people can't match. If someone's actions cross her boundaries or show consistent disrespect, she won't plead, argue, or demand change. She'll simply remove herself. This is where people misunderstand her. They assume her calm demeanor in conflict means she doesn't care. On the contrary, she cares deeply, but only about things and people that matter. What shocks those on the receiving end of her detachment is how final it feels. When a Sigma female decides she's done, there's no dramatic farewell, no long-winded explanation. She walks away with an almost surgical precision, leaving no room for negotiation. It's not because she's incapable of forgiveness. It's because she refuses to tolerate the same mistake twice. Her detachment isn't about being cold, it's about protecting her peace. She has no interest in wasting time on situations or relationships that drain her energy or disrespect her value. Some may call it harsh, but to her, it's simply practical. And while others may regret losing her, she moves forward without looking back. By the time they realize she wasn't being cruel but fair, it's already too late. The door is closed, and for a Sigma female, once it's shut, it doesn't open again. Number 2, their loyalty is scarier than their independence. Sigma females are often perceived as lone wolves, fiercely independent and self-sufficient, but their greatest strength lies in a trait far more profound: their loyalty. When they choose to let someone into their world, a rare privilege, they commit fully, standing by that person in ways others rarely do. Their loyalty is quiet but unshakable, an unwavering force that can feel almost intimidating in its intensity. What sets a Sigma female apart is the depth of her commitment. She doesn't enter relationships lightly, whether romantic, platonic, or professional. If she decides you're worth her time and energy, she'll go to lengths most wouldn't to support, protect, and uplift you. This isn't blind devotion. It's rooted in her carefully chosen principles and deep respect for mutual trust. But here's the caveat: her loyalty has limits. While she'll stand by you through challenges, betrayal is something she won't tolerate. Whether it's dishonesty, disrespect, or taking her for granted, a Sigma female sees betrayal as an unforgivable breach of trust. And when that line is crossed, there's no coming back. The abruptness of her detachment after betrayal often shocks people. One moment she's your most steadfast ally, and the next, she's gone without a trace. It's not out of spite, it's out of self-respect. A Sigma female knows her worth, and once someone shows they don't value it, she moves on without hesitation. Losing her loyalty is a profound regret for those who take it for granted. Only then do they realize how rare and invaluable it was. For a Sigma female, loyalty isn't just a trait. It's a part of her identity, one that demands the same depth of commitment in return. Betray it, and you lose her forever. Number 3, they're not reclusive, they're selective. Sigma females are often labeled as reclusive or antisocial because they don't show up in the usual places or engage in the typical ways most people expect. But the truth is far more intentional. They're not hiding. They're choosing. For a Sigma female, social visibility isn't about being seen. It's about ensuring her energy is spent on meaningful connections rather than shallow interactions. She's not one to fill her calendar with mindless gatherings or surround herself with people for the sake of appearances. Instead, she curates her relationships and environment with precision, prioritizing quality over quantity. If someone doesn't bring value, depth, or authenticity to her life, they simply don't make the cut. This selectivity can come across as aloofness, but in reality, it's an act of self-preservation. She knows her energy is limited, and she refuses to waste it on anything that doesn't align with her values. What truly surprises people is how present and engaging she can be when she deems a connection worthwhile. In those moments, she's far from distant. She's deeply invested, offering her full attention and support. But once the interaction ends, she retreats, not because she's avoiding people, but because she needs time to recharge and maintain her sense of balance. Her low social profile often makes her seem mysterious or even unapproachable, but this perception works to her advantage. It filters out superficial connections, leaving only those who genuinely understand and appreciate her essence. By the time people realize she wasn't reclusive but highly selective, they either respect her boundaries or regret not valuing the rare opportunity to be in her circle. For a Sigma female, life isn't about fitting in, it's about creating a space where only the authentic are welcome. Number 4. Their confidence isn't loud, but it's immovable. The confidence of a Sigma female is unlike anything most people are familiar with. It's not the loud, attention-seeking kind that needs validation or applause to feel real. Her confidence is quiet, rooted deep within, and entirely self-sustained. It doesn't shout or demand to be noticed. It simply exists, unshakable and undeniable. This kind of confidence often goes unnoticed at first. People may mistake her calm demeanor for passivity or underestimate her because she doesn't feel the need to prove herself. But what they fail to realize is that her self-assurance comes from a place far more solid than external validation. She knows who she is, what she's capable of, and what she stands for, and she doesn't need anyone else to confirm it for her. When someone tries to undermine her, they often find themselves surprised by the outcome. A Sigma female doesn't crumble under criticism or doubt. She grows stronger. Challenges and attempts to diminish her only fuel her resolve, sharpening her focus and deepening her determination. She doesn't retaliate with words or theatrics. She simply proves her worth through her actions, leaving no room for debate. By the time people recognize the strength of her quiet confidence, it's often too late. They realize she wasn't ignoring the noise. She was rising above it, and in doing so, she's already moved ahead, leaving those who underestimated her wondering how they missed the unshakable force standing right in front of them. For a Sigma female, confidence isn't a performance, it's a state of being. It doesn't need to be seen to be felt, and it doesn't need approval to exist. Number 5. They don't just exit, they transform. When a Sigma female decides to leave a situation, whether it's a relationship, a toxic workplace, or a draining friendship, it's never just an exit. It's a metamorphosis. Walking away isn't an act of defeat for her, it's a declaration of her worth and a chance to evolve into an even more powerful version of herself. She doesn't cling to the past or wallow in regret. Instead, she uses the experience as fuel, analyzing what went wrong and what she can learn from it. Every departure becomes an opportunity for reinvention. She sheds old patterns, reclaims her energy, and emerges with renewed purpose. This transformation isn't just internal. It radiates outward, making her stronger, more focused, and undeniably magnetic. What catches people off guard is the sheer scale of her evolution. While they're left dwelling on her absence, she's already thriving in ways they didn't anticipate. The person they once knew, the one they might have taken for granted, is gone, replaced by someone who has grown far beyond the limitations of the situation she left behind. For those who underestimated her, the regret is palpable. They come to realize that losing her wasn't just about her absence, It was about missing out on the extraordinary person she became after leaving. And by then, there's no going back. A Sigma female doesn't return to old dynamics or entertain those who didn't see her value the first time. Her exits are definitive, but they're also a reminder. Underestimating her resilience and capacity for transformation is a mistake people rarely make twice. She doesn't just walk away, she rises, leaving others wondering how they let someone so rare slip through their fingers. Number 6. They live by their own clock. Sigma females are entirely unfazed by the pressure to conform to society's timelines. While others sprint through life trying to meet conventional milestones, marriage by a certain age, a specific career path, or an expected lifestyle, Sigma females move to the beat of their own clock. They're not slow or indifferent, they're intentional. For them, life isn't a race, it's a journey, and they're determined to do it on their terms. This refusal to conform can confuse or even frustrate those around them. People may assume they're falling behind or that they lack ambition. The reality, however, is the opposite. Sigma females are deeply ambitious, but their goals are rooted in personal fulfillment, not societal validation. They know that rushing leads to mediocrity, so they pace themselves with precision, focusing on quality over speed. The results are often extraordinary. While others burn out chasing arbitrary deadlines, Sigma females quietly build something meaningful, whether it's a career, a relationship, or a way of life that aligns with their vision. And when they succeed, which they inevitably do, it's not just impressive, it's awe-inspiring. Their accomplishments stand out because they weren't dictated by external expectations, but by their own carefully considered choices. What shocks people is how effortlessly they seem to surpass those who judge them for taking too long. By the time others are scrambling to figure out what went wrong, the Sigma female has already built a life that's uniquely hers, one of depth, purpose, and authenticity. She doesn't just ignore the clock, she redefines it, proving that true success isn't about meeting deadlines, it's about mastering your own timing. Number 7. They challenge the idea of easy access. In a world where instant availability is often mistaken for kindness, Sigma females stand out by challenging this norm. They guard their time and energy like treasure, understanding its true value. While most people are conditioned to respond immediately to messages, calls, or social obligations, Sigma females prioritize themselves first. They are not rude or dismissive, they are deliberate. This boundary often leaves others stunned, especially those who expect instant access to their attention without earning it. For a Sigma female, time is sacred. She doesn't squander it on meaningless conversations or half-hearted relationships. Instead, she invests it where it matters most, on personal growth, meaningful connections, and pursuits that align with her goals. This isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. She knows that constantly being available dilutes her presence and drains her energy, so she chooses her interactions carefully. This boundary can be jarring for those used to easy access. Some may misinterpret her selective availability as arrogance or indifference, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The Sigma female values quality over quantity, and when she does give her time, it's with undivided attention and genuine care. However, she won't let anyone mistake her kindness for unlimited access. The shock comes when people realize she won't prioritize them just because they demand it. If they don't respect her boundaries or fail to bring value to her life, they find themselves on the outside, wondering why they were denied the effortless access they're accustomed to. A Sigma female's time isn't a public commodity, it's earned. And by the time people grasp this, they've either risen to meet her standards or been left behind, learning the hard way that not everyone's attention comes on demand. Number 8. They turn pain into power. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to turn pain into power in ways most people could never imagine. Life's struggles, setbacks, and hardships don't break them, they refine them. While others may falter, complain, or retreat in the face of adversity, Sigma females do something extraordinary. They use pain as fuel. It doesn't matter if it's a personal loss, a professional setback, or a betrayal. They take the energy from their struggles and transform it into something productive. Where most people let difficulties derail them, a Sigma female will analyze, adapt, and rise from the ashes. She doesn't wallow in self-pity or wait for external circumstances to change. Instead, she internalizes her experiences, channels that pain into focused action, and emerges stronger, wiser, and more determined. This isn't about ignoring her emotions. It's about using them as a powerful motivator to achieve something even greater. The results are often remarkable, sometimes even enviable to those around her. People look at her success and wonder how she does it, unable to comprehend the deep inner strength it takes to turn tragedy into triumph. What they fail to realize is that Sigma females don't see their pain as an obstacle. They see it as an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a lesson, every failure is a stepping stone, and every heartbreak only strengthens their resolve. What others fail to understand is that this transformation isn't just about pushing through pain, it's about transcending it. A Sigma female doesn't simply survive her struggles, she uses them to carve a path to success and personal growth that others often envy but can't fully grasp. Her ability to turn pain into power is one of her most powerful and mysterious traits, an invisible force that drives her to places no one thought possible. Number 9, they are intensely intuitive, and it's not always comfortable. Sigma females possess an extraordinary level of intuition, one that goes beyond reading the surface. They can sense the undercurrents of a situation, the things that others try to hide, whether it's a hidden agenda, unresolved feelings, or subtle manipulations. This isn't just a superficial instinct. It's a deep, almost uncanny ability to tap into the energy around them, picking up on things that often go unnoticed by others. And while this gift may seem impressive, it's not always comfortable, especially for those around them. People might feel uneasy when they realize that a Sigma female sees right through them. The facade they've built to protect themselves or manipulate a situation begins to crumble in her presence. She doesn't need to ask the right questions or dig deep. She simply knows, and that knowledge can be disarming. For some, it's unsettling to have their hidden motives or emotions exposed so effortlessly. This level of intuition can be both a gift and a curse. It gives Sigma females an incredible ability to protect themselves from deceit or negativity, but it also creates a distance between them and others. People who aren't used to being seen for who they truly are might try to avoid her, preferring the comfort of people who don't see through their masks. But for those who are genuine, this intuitive perception becomes a source of admiration. They recognize that the Sigma female doesn't just understand them on the surface, she understands them at their core. However, this gift often isolates her. Those who aren't comfortable with their truths find themselves drifting away, while those who appreciate her insight are drawn in. In the end, this intense intuition, while powerful, often forces Sigma females to live in a space where admiration and avoidance coexist. It's not something she seeks, it's just who she is, and she wouldn't have it any other way. Number 10, they thrive in isolation, but dominate in collaboration. Sigma females are often perceived as lone wolves, thriving in their independence and isolation. But what many fail to realize is their incredible ability to dominate in collaboration when the situation demands it. This duality, being equally powerful alone and in a group, is a rare skill that sets them apart. While they prefer solitude to recharge and focus, their innate intelligence, intuition, and adaptability make them formidable leaders and collaborators when necessary. When a Sigma female steps into a team environment, her presence is felt immediately. She doesn't just take charge, she elevates everyone around her. Her ability to read people, anticipate challenges, and strategize solutions ensures that she operates with unmatched precision. Unlike those who crave leadership for the spotlight, Sigma females lead with purpose, making decisions based on logic, fairness, and efficiency. They don't micromanage or dominate conversations. They inspire trust and autonomy, drawing the best out of every individual in the group. This ability often catches people off guard because they assume her independence means she can't or won't work well with others. What they miss is that her independence is her greatest strength in collaboration. She doesn't depend on others to validate her ideas or execution. Instead, she brings her unique strengths to the table while respecting the input and abilities of her team. However, this duality isn't always appreciated until it's needed. People often underestimate her capacity to lead until they see her effortlessly step into a challenging situation and take control. By then, they realize the depth of her versatility. She's not just someone who thrives in isolation. She's someone who can transform any collaborative effort into something extraordinary. It's a rare combination of self-reliance and teamwork that few can match, and it's precisely what makes her so unforgettable. Sigma females are a rare breed, unshackled by the expectations and pressures that often dictate the lives of others. They operate on their own terms, carving out paths that may leave some in awe and others in confusion. Their strength lies not in following the crowd, but in their ability to stand alone, to transform pain into power, and to challenge the very rules that society has set in place. They don't need validation, because they're already enough, and that can be both intimidating and inspiring. The world may not always understand them, but the beauty of a Sigma female is that she doesn't need to be understood. Her journey is one of deep self-awareness, quiet resilience, and a refusal to compromise her authenticity. For those who choose to underestimate or take her for granted, it's only a matter of time before they realize the power of what they've lost. In the end, a Sigma female isn't someone who needs the approval or acceptance of others to succeed. She's the one who makes her own rules, sets her own pace, and moves with a purpose that leaves a lasting impact. The ones who truly understand this will always hold her in the highest regard. For everyone else, they'll be left wondering how they missed the chance to witness the extraordinary, because in the world of a Sigma female, greatness doesn't wait, it quietly makes its mark. If you've made it this far, you've just scratched the surface of what it means to truly understand the power of a Sigma female. And trust me, there's so much more to uncover. If you want to keep exploring the depths of extraordinary lives, unconventional wisdom, and truths that others won't dare to speak, hit that subscribe button and join this incredible community. By subscribing, you're not just getting content. You're gaining access to a mindset, a way of thinking, and a journey that challenges the status quo and celebrates those who dare to be different. Don't miss out on the next chapter. You don't want to be the one left behind wondering what could have been. So go ahead. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going. Stay curious, stay bold, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.